Price jumps hard, but it drops right after. It comes back to the same place again. April 16th Asia session forms at the top of April 16th US session. It overlaps with April 15th Asia mid. Nothing moves clean. Price pushes up. It stalls. It slips. You see the break. It does not stay. It comes back inside. Distance gets smaller. Pullbacks get deeper. Reactions hit faster. Price drops. It reaches April 14th US session bottom. It stops there. It looks like continuation. It cannot stay below. It snaps back. The move is fast. Too fast. It does not hold. It tries again. It goes lower. It fails again. It returns. Now it climbs. Slow. Then fast. Then unstable. It reaches April 16th US session top. It pushes above. It cannot stay. The candle stretches. Then shrinks. Then rejects. You see the wick. It does not close strong. It fades. It pushes again. It reaches April 14th US session top. It touches. It stalls. It tries to go higher. It cannot. It pulls back. Now it stretches further. It reaches 1.5x of April 16th US session. It looks like expansion. But something is wrong. Reactions come faster. Distance shrinks again. Continuation fails earlier. It looks like breakout. It behaves like failure. It compresses again. Now you are in. Price reaches April 16th US session top. You enter long. It moves. It goes up. You see green. You hold. Then it pulls back. Faster. Deeper. Closer than expected. It touches near your entry. It hesitates. It moves again. You stay in. It pushes again. Small move. Then stops. It pulls back again. Deeper. Faster. Closer to stop. You feel it. If it cannot stay below, it pushes again. You wait. It pushes. Then stalls. Then returns. Nothing extends. Entry at April 16th US session top. Stop at April 16th Asia session bottom. Target at April 14th US session top. Price reaches target. It touches. It does not break. It wicks. It fades. It returns slightly. Distance expanded. Now it shrinks. You feel the shift. It tries again. Small push. Fast rejection. Immediate pullback. You trail. It goes higher. Then drops faster. Then goes again. You cannot relax. Second structure. Same entry zone. Wider stop. Stop moves to April 14th US session bottom. Target moves to extension. Price moves. It pulls back deeper. It stays inside. You survive. The move is slower. The pullback is heavier. The pressure increases. It moves up, then stalls, then moves again, then stalls again. Nothing is clean. You hold. It pulls back again. Closer, faster, sharper. You feel it again. If it holds above, you trail further. You stay. Target extends. February 3rd US session bottom. Then mid. Price moves. But shorter. Then shorter again. Then fails. Moves shrink. Reactions speed up. Continuation dies. You see it now. Each push is weaker. Each return is faster. The range tightens. Now, third structure. Price returns to April 16th US session mid. You wait. You watch. You hesitate. Candle closes. You enter. It moves. Fast reaction. Immediate pressure. No space. It pushes slightly, then pulls back, then pushes again. Small distance. Fast reaction. Tight range. Stop is close. It tests it. It bounces. It tests again. You cannot breathe. Target at February 3rd U.S. session mid. Price moves, but slowly, then faster, then fails again. Nothing extends. Now you choose. If stop is tight, it gets hit first. You exit. If stop is wide, you stay longer. But pressure builds. If entry is mid, reaction is clearer. But distance is small. Nothing is easy. Price reaches, fails, returns. Again, reaches, fails, returns. You stay. It pulls back. You hesitate. You adjust. Then it moves again, but smaller. Then fails again. The session does not leave. You are inside it. You enter. It moves. It fails. You hold. It pulls back. You feel it. Then it moves again, but not enough, and fails again. Price pushes again, but it cannot stay. It moves between older levels. April 17th U.S. session forms between April 14th top and February 3rd bottom. It builds. It fails. Price moves up. It reaches near February 3rd bottom. It reacts. Fast rejection. Immediate stall. No continuation. It tries again. Small push. Fast failure. Return again. It moves higher. Toward February 3rd top. It touches. It fails. No hold. Distance shrinks. Reactions speed up. Everything tightens. The candles overlap. Up, down, up again. Nothing clear. Then it drops. Back to April 17th, mid. It stops. It compresses. Now April 19th Asia session forms. Inside April 16th U.S. mid. Compressed to half. Stacked with April 15th. 3 sessions. No space. Moves are small. Reactions are fast. Pressure builds. Price pushes up. It reaches April 16th U.S. top. It fails. It pushes again. It reaches April 14th U.S. top. It fails again. Same level. Same reaction. Same result. Now short. Price reaches February 3rd U.S. mid. You enter short. It drops. Immediate reaction. No delay. Fast move. You feel it. Stop at February 3rd U.S. top. Target at April 17th bottom. Price falls. Fast. Clean. Sharp. Distance expands. You feel control. Then something changes. April 19th Asia opens. Gap down. Price does not return. It continues. It accelerates. You watch. It does not retrace. It does not hesitate. It keeps going. You adjust. Target moves. April 16th U.S. session mid. Near 120 mega amperes. Price approaches. It slows. It reacts faster. It stalls. The move weakens. Push. Fail. Return. Again. Push. Fail. Return. Risk expands. Then compresses. Then expands again. You feel it. RR stretches. Now decision. If it stalls, it returns. You exit, because it always does. It reaches, fails, returns. You stay. It pulls back deeper. You hesitate. You exit. Then it moves again, but smaller. Then fails again. Everything shrinks. Moves get tighter. Reactions get faster. Continuation disappears. If it cannot stay above, it drops again. If reactions come faster, it fails earlier. If distance shrinks, everything stays inside. And you are inside it. You enter. It moves. It fails. You hold. It pulls back. You feel it. Then it moves again, but not enough, and fails again. The session never leaves. You are still in it.